Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jörn. We bring all kinds of cup-related content right to you.
That's right, date night ideas, competitions, challenges, travel, and cruise ship crew content. So if that's your kind of content, then smash that subscribe button. We are crew members on AIDAprima right now, but today it is all about the guests. We're gonna take you inside and take you to all of the guest areas, from the spa to the restaurants to where you can do sports, all of that kind of stuff, in case you're curious, either as a crew member or as a guest or just as a person.
AIDAprima is one of 11 ships from AIDA Cruises, commissioned in 2016. She has one sister ship, AIDA Perla, which is built exactly the same. They contain each 4,300 guests maximum and roughly 950 crew. We have one smaller ship class which has up to 2,400 guests and one bigger ship class with up to 6,600 guests. But enough of the talking, let's head inside. We just came in on deck 3 through the gangway, and this is Pier 3 Market with Starbucks integrated in it. So this is basically the first thing that you're going to see. And you're going to have a nice drink here. You can also have some cake. And it's called Pier 3 Market because it is like a market where you can buy snacks for late night or hot sandwiches or fruit for your excursion. And on the outsides there are little areas where you can sit that they're going to also open in port times, where you can have a beautiful view in the environment. From the little plaza that we have in front of Starbucks, we're going to get to deck 4 for the reception. Here our reception team is there for you to help you with any kind of information you might need, if it's about your cabin or your excursion, or to pay the bill at the end of the cruise. But on embarkation day, this is a crowded place. So if your question is not very immediate, then just come back later because they're staffed 24/7. Deck 5 actually has only guest cabins, so we're going to jump up to deck 6.
Welcome to the Plaza. We are now on deck 6, and this would be the first thing that guests see on embarkation day, actually. And this is one of the biggest hubs on the ship that have so many things to do in it. For example, just on deck 6, we have the Scharfe Ecke, where you can get currywurst all the way until like 2 in the morning. You have an entrance to the shop down here. On the other side, you have the jeweler with all the fancy jewelry and watches. And then you have the Nightfly, which is a nightclub, the tapas bar where you can get tapas until 11 or 12 at night. And then you also have the Day 6 Disco, which is the club at night. So if you come here, you can find a lot of what you need. Let's take a second to spotlight the Nightfly. So I said this is the nightclub. Every night at 10 p.m. there's a show that happens here on the stage, and you have to come in a little bit early to get a spot because there's probably only about 100 seats in here, but it is attached to a bar, so it's something where you sit down, a waiter comes to you, asks what kind of drink you want, and then there's a Nightfly host here, one entertainer with usually a pianist, who create a different show every night. And they do this spontaneously, so they have kind of a set that they want to show you, but they also just take suggestions from the audience. It's really every night a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, so you definitely need to come check this out. And if we head through these special doors, you'll end up in a very cool spot of the ship.
And through these sliding doors, we have the spray bar, which is our champagne bar. It's all in white, and people can enjoy their champagne and their fine Prosecco in here. And it's very pretty and very beautifully made, and a very nice location to be in. But from here is actually the biggest highlight of the ship. From the higher deck of the spray bar, we can actually exit to get some fresh air. You cannot get any further to the front of the ship than exactly here, and this is the balcony. It's amazing to watch sailaways or arrivals here, and it's just beautiful, and you have the direct view and can play some Titanic. And since there's no way to get further to the front of the ship, we're gonna head back towards the aft and meet Kate in the living room of the ship.
Welcome to the Theatrium. Like Jörn said, this is the living room of the ship. It's what we call it because there's a lot happening here. It's actually a theater, first of all, where the shows happen every night. You can see them rehearsing behind me right now. And it's on 3 different decks, 6, 7, and 8. You can find seats, also screens everywhere, which is part of Jörn's job to make sure you can see the stage on all of the screens in case you're in a seat that's kind of far away. But it's also connected to everything. If you find yourself here, you can find yourself to what you're looking for. When you keep going back, you'll find other restaurants. Here in the corner, you have a casino, which you know is not allowed to be filmed, but anyway, it's here. And then you also have bars on every single level. So exiting Theatrium, staying on deck 6 and heading toward the back of the ship is where you're going to end up running into all of the restaurants. Restaurants are on deck 6, 7, and 8 here. We also have one secret one on deck 14, but anyway, most of the time if you're hungry, deck 6, 7, and 8 is the place to go. For example, this is East Restaurant. It's Asian themed, but if you're curious what kind of restaurants we have, there's a new video coming out very soon, so subscribe for it because there are actually 17 different restaurants on this ship, and if we took you to all of them right now, your head would spin. So we have 3 different layers, let's say, of restaurants. You have the buffets where all food and all drinks inside are included. Then you have what's called the specialty restaurants where you have the food that's included, but the drinks need to be paid for separately. Those are things like the Brauhaus with the German food or French Kiss with the French food. And then we have one more layer called the a la carte restaurants. This is where everything costs extra money, the food and the drinks. This is gonna be like the steakhouse or our 5-star restaurant, the Rossini, where you can get a 6-course menu, but all of that needs to be paid for. So that all includes the 17, plus you saw already some of our snack bars like tapas and the Scharfe Ecke, so that's why we're not gonna go to all of them. But just imagine, you've just gone to 17 restaurants, and if you really wanna go, subscribe so that you can see the rest of them. But anyway, let's head up now to deck 7.
We're headed now back towards the front of the ship, and here we have our art gallery where everything pretty is being displayed, and you can buy different artists and also have the Photoshop where you can get your photos that is being taken by our team, like at the gangway or at the check-in in the beginning of the cruise. You can buy your photos here. And from here, when we walk a little bit further forward, we're gonna get to the most exciting part of the ship. Let me introduce to you my office. This is the TV studio. We have a huge window in the front of it so that guests can also look into it, because it's kind of interesting to watch when we broadcast our shows at night. And this is where we produce the movie and do all our live broadcast stuff. As you can maybe hear in the background and see already, this is the theater on deck 7, where we've just been on deck 6, but we had that already, so therefore we're gonna skip forward to the front.
Maybe you can tell already, but we're back in the Plaza, but this time on deck 7. We have very exciting things here because we have an ice bar where you can come. That does cost extra money, like we talked about in the restaurants. And then all of the different shops. You've got shops over here, you've got the nail salon, the hair salon, a perfumery. And then you can head over this way to Jörn's favorite part of the ship.
The Lego store. We have a Lego store on board, so you can shop around here and spend a lot of money for your little bricks that you can build together. But this is just one of our stores. We're gonna head back into where you get yourself in shape. We're now in the gym, our big passenger gym where you have cardio, weights, and all kinds of workout opportunities that you can think of. And we have a huge course room in the middle that is a circular shape and where you have a lot of space for your mats and for your workouts in a big group. The gym is the sports area of our spa, but now from deck 7 we're gonna head up to deck 8 to the wellness area of our spa. Here we have our designated feel-good area in our organic spa where you can have massages and other treatments, and you can also relax in our wellness oasis where you have a big environment with a jacuzzi and sunbeds and everything. Now we're in one of the most exclusive areas on the ship that a passenger can access, the wellness suite. You have your own personal space with a waterbed where I'm sitting on right now. With a jacuzzi, you have 2 massage tables, you have a sauna, you have a shower, and you have your own outside area where you can look out on a sea day, especially very beautiful. And you can book it up to 3 hours, and it is pure relaxation, and it's a very good tip for a little getaway during your trip. To just sit here, enjoy the view, and enjoy all the amenities. And from here, let's catch some fresh air.
This is my favorite place to come watch the sunset because weirdly, not many people come here at sunset time. We're on deck 8 in the open area balcony. I also love it out here because you have this balcony on each side of the ship and 2 jacuzzis on each side with nice warm water. You can come out here to the sunset, sit in the jacuzzi, and look literally down into the ocean. It's beautiful outside. And while we're on the topic of outside, there's one special bar that has a beautiful outside balcony that we need to show you.
Once you made it to the stairs with all these white bulbs, you made it on the right way to the Lanai Bar. The Lanai Bar is a beautiful outside bar where you have a balcony to the aft of the ship and you can enjoy the sunset or even sunrise if you're up early, and it's a very pretty place to be outside and enjoy the ocean around you. Since decks 9, 10, 11 and 12 are all full of cabins and there's no public area to see, we're going to jump right up to deck 14.
Welcome to deck 14 and to the 4 elements, aptly named for all of the activities you can do in here. You've got water because we've got water slides, even with glass sections. You've got a lazy river and a lot of water things. You've got air because we have a Klettergarten, or a high ropes course it's called in English, where you can climb, adults and kids can go up there. You've got a restaurant up here with a grill, which is the fire element. They call it fuego, that's our fire. And then they built this big hill where you can sit down that they call the earth element. It represents earth, the big hill in the middle. They show things like movies up here, they have events. This is really the family hub. This is also the deck where you'll find the mini club, the kids club, and the teens lounge. There's also a reception desk where you can get games and books that you can take for the day and bring back later. And then they've even built a bar up here, which they call the 5th element, where you can get some alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. But what's really awesome is that this is connected also to the outside areas. So let's go.
You might have seen those big columns on the side of the ship already. This is our Skywalk on the top on deck 15. It is a glass walkway that guides you around this big elevator, and you can look down and see deck 8. So it's not for the lighthearted, but this is a beautiful view and gives you a wide angle of the ship and the outside. Right next to the Skywalk you find this set of steps that leads you up to deck 16, where we have our sports deck, where you can play volleyball, soccer, basketball, and all kinds of other stuff on the free area that our guest givers, our hosts for the activities, are planning for you.
And the final stop on our tour, we are on decks 15 and 16. It's the Beach Club. This is where you'll find the biggest pool on board. It has an inside area, and if you swim through the plastic, you'll actually find the outside area. It is heated, so it's not terrible to be outside, even though we're in Norway a lot on this ship. You also have a huge stage, and every night we have a house band that's here giving a concert. So you'll have different events here, like the White Night, Black and White, rock concerts, Schlager nights for the Germans, stuff like that. You also, of course, have bars here because you have bars almost everywhere. And as a family, I'd say if you're not in the 4 elements, you're probably in the beach club hanging out during the day.
We made it to the highest deck, to the furthest front spot on the ship up here, so there's nothing else for us to show you on the ship.
No, of course, we had to skip a couple smaller areas, but that's just normal. Like, we do have a naked area. We're not going to film in there. There's a couple areas that are only for suite guests, so we can't go in there. We skipped things like all the smoking lounges because we don't care about that, sorry. But there are smoking lounges. And then we didn't obviously go into the kids clubs and things like this where there are little kids. But in general, I think this video gives you a very good idea of all the amenities that there are here on AIDAprima. And anyway, saving a little bit of stuff just means you need to come book a cruise here. So that'll be what you learn when you get here.
And if you're also interested in the crew areas, which we obviously didn't show today, we also have a video for that. So go over and check out our channel for all kinds of crew life content.
That's right.
Otherwise, share it with your friends, like and subscribe to this channel to never miss any new video. And we hope to see you in the next video.
Bye. Bye.